Hey, church family, welcome to today's 5-minute thought. How are you doing today? How are you feeling on week number 4 of the quarantine? I think we've all probably encountered some changes to our daily lives and our routines. For some, the changes have probably been fairly drastic. For others, maybe they've just been moderate. But one thing is for sure, our lives have all changed because of the coronavirus over the last few weeks. This doesn't seem to be going away quickly. So, what should we do in the next week? How can we live in light of Jesus' resurrection, which we just celebrated this last weekend? I was thinking about several passages that I think have relevance to our current state. Jesus gave instructions that we are to take up our cross and follow him. In Matthew 16:24, it says, "Then Jesus told his disciples, 'If anyone would come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. For whoever would save his life will lose it. But whoever loses his life for my sake will find it. For what will it profit a man if he gains the whole world and forfeits his soul? Or what shall a man give in return for his soul?'" That was verses 24 through 26. Because we just celebrated Easter, I was thinking of this verse in light of Jesus' death, burial, and resurrection. Actually, I was thinking about Jesus carrying his cross to the place of his execution. Jesus had been beaten so badly that he was unable to bear the weight of his cross. Luke chapter 23, verse 26 tells us, "And as they led him away, they seized one Simon of Cyrene, who was coming in from the country, and laid on him the cross to carry it behind Jesus." Jesus was exiting the city of Jerusalem to head to Golgotha, that's the place of the skull, while Simon was heading into the city. As Simon, who's originally from northern Africa, crosses past with the guards, Jesus, and the mob of those following, he's asked to carry Jesus' cross in the opposite direction. Let me remind you of another one of Jesus' words in a passage, Matthew chapter 5, verse 41. Jesus said, "And if anyone forces you to go 1 mile, go with him 2 miles." Why does Jesus say that we should go 2 miles? Well, this is something cultural that was forced upon the Jewish people by the Roman centurions. Roman soldiers could compel any Jew to carry his backpack for 1 mile. They adopted this system for their military to keep their soldiers from getting worn out from carrying heavy backpacks. These backpacks weighed over 60 pounds. If someone refused to do it, he'd be flogged. The Jews hated the Romans because they were Gentiles. They had to pay taxes to Caesar, and the Romans treated them pretty harshly at times. Jesus says to go the extra mile. They were required to go 1 mile. That's actually 2 miles out of their way because they'd have to go 1 mile with the Roman soldier and then 1 mile back to their original destination. Instead of that, Jesus said they needed to go 2 miles. That would mean going 4 miles round trip. And that's all out of their way. In light of carrying our cross and going the extra mile, I want you to consider how you have the mindset of Christ this week. What opportunities are you given to help serve others? Galatians chapter 6, verse 2 says, "To bear one another's burdens and so fulfill the law of Christ." Oftentimes, the Holy Spirit will bring someone to our minds as we go through our day. Sometimes we just ignore that prompting, but this week I want you to pay special attention to it. I think going the first mile would be taking time to stop and pray for that person. But what does the second mile look like in our current situation? I think going the second mile right now can look like taking the time to call or text that person. I think going the second mile can look like taking the time to write an email or a letter. I think it can look like taking the time to private message them or maybe to video chat with them. Maybe it's picking up supplies they may need right now. But I think going the extra mile is taking the time to show them that you care. I think by doing some of these small actions, maybe you'll be able to lift each other's burdens, help carry each other's crosses just a little bit this week. That's my 5-minute thought for this week. Feel free to like, comment, or share below, and I hope you're having a great week. God bless.